This is my electric skateboard, and this is the board I tell her not to worry about. My name is Hunter, and I have a crazy idea. I just arrived at college, and I realize now that my board game is a little bit underwhelming. So I think it's time that my board get a little bit of an upgrade. Float! No, not that big of an upgrade. Aww. What if I could make this scene a reality? Well, aesthetically speaking. There is something just so innately cool about the design of the hoverboard that even though I haven't even seen the films, I still am obsessed with. So we're gonna make it happen. So this is my board, and currently my thought is we're going to add some sort of riser to this so that I can effectively put the new hoverboard deck like up here somewhere so that it doesn't collide with these wheels. So yeah, time to figure out how we're going to do that. No, I almost forgot. The way that we're going to make this thing look like it's floating is we're going to borrow a little trick from Colin Furs. In one of his videos, he is making a Star Wars speeder, and in order to make it look like that is floating, he surrounds the bottom of it in mirror paper or like reflective paper or whatever, planning on using or stealing that same sort of concept so that we have the board up here and then under it we're just going to be reflecting the ground so it makes it look like it's floating. So let's go. Alright, so here we are. I'm down here. So this is basically the board. We've got it all Creo'd out. Yes, I use Creo. Get over it, I know, it's the worst. We are going to add these two pieces of 2x4 with these little brackets on them, and then to attach that to the board, we're going to add these two lovely pieces of aluminum extrusion churro, and we can then attach the hoverboard itself. Look at that, looking nice and pretty. We'll get into that being problematic in a moment. But right now it's locked in 2 axes, so we just need to fix that up, and bada bing, bada boom. Now she's stuck in place, she ain't going anywhere. But now the difficult part. So they don't exactly make decks that look like the Back to the Future hoverboard, especially not in the size that I'm going to need. While there are some replicas out there that are exactly like the one in the movie, 1, they're expensive, 2, way too small. So we are already committing to essentially building this deck ourselves, and that's the difficult part. As I don't personally know how to bend wood in that way to give me that little fin, I essentially have to make it out of 1 solid piece of wood or plastic or insert something here, and that's kind of really expensive. So to be honest, I'm kind of stuck. So it's been about 2 weeks, and I can promise you things have been happening. I think I've finally figured out what I'm doing. I finally came up with a way in order to make it out of like plywood and a bent piece of metal. Through talking with some people around campus, I came across the source that I could potentially make it all out of 1 piece and it actually be affordable. So let's get to it. So I'm in the Purdue Wood Research Lab right now. I have taken my 2 boards and we are now gluing them together. There's a little bit of dribble there, but that'll be all right. So those are currently waiting, just resting, gluing together, and hopefully tomorrow or the next day we'll be able to cut out our hoverboard. So tomorrow morning I have a meeting with someone who's going to help me print out the sticker slash decal for the top of this board, and in order to do that I kind of need to know the dimensions of the sticker, and yes, I think I kind of had that under control. It was going to be about 11 inches wide so that it fit over the wheels. However, I realized that if this mirror paper is going to be sticking out the sides, as I bend the board, that paper's gonna really wanna collide with my wheels, which isn't gonna make for a fun ride. So, hi, Video Editing Hunter here. So here in the video I go on some long-winded explanation about this diagram and why the current width of the board is too small, but you don't really care about any of that, so all you really need to know is that we need to make the board about 1.5 inches wider so that I don't get thrown off the board at Mach, oh my god, every time I want to take a turn. But I'm not exactly sure how wide, so I'm right now kind of trying to make a cardboard model of what it might look like, just to see if I'm creating like a freaking SUV of a board and if that's going to work at all. Because based on what I'm seeing online, you don't really find boards that are wider than 10 inches, and we're looking at something close to 13. So yeah, let's get into it. So I've drawn everything out now, and I think I've really come to the conclusion that I do need to make the board an additional 1.5 inches wide. Which, yes, a 12.5 inch board, ooh, that's big. But, yeah, I think we can make it work. It might not exactly make the board look better, but it'll definitely function a lot better. You can kind of notice the width change, but overall, it still looks pretty damn good. So that's what we're gonna do.
A few moments later.
So it wasn't as bad as I thought. I went back into Illustrator and I tweaked the design a bit, and I'm honestly feeling pretty good about it. It wasn't too hard to fix. Illustrator was being a bit finicky every once in a while, but we have a design for a sticker, which means that I can get up for my meeting tomorrow so that hopefully I can get it printed, so long as I can get everything else fixed up before when I need this to be done. So, oh my gosh. So it is the next morning. The meeting went really well. We are planning on printing out the decal this Tuesday, so that's just in a few days here. I have just completely remodeled the board itself. I think the overall design is just a lot better. So as you can see here, we've got a new and improved design. It's wider. It's got wider 2x4s, which means that we need to make some little nice metal brackets that are actually bent there. So this design should be a little bit more functional. It's a little bit more secure, and yeah, this is what we're going with. So I am currently at the Purdue surplus store, and I have gotten a piece of clear acrylic that I'm going to be using to actually stick the mirror paper to, so that it's not flimsy, going all over the place. This is my setup at the moment. I'm thinking I can just ride this, maybe? Like, we'll see how it goes. We're gonna try to get it back here. My dorm is about 1.5 miles that way, so we'll see. I just got out of my meeting and it exists. This is the sticker. I'm so freaking excited. But everything should be ready to go here. And in this department, I've got 2 stickers here, so if anything bad happens, I've got something to fall back on. One's made out of vinyl, one's made out of polypropylene, I think. But oh my gosh, that was the most painless thing in the world. I cannot wait to get this on. So I am here at the Wood Research Lab, and we are currently working on cutting out the board. We've got a rough cut kind of prepped for the bottom of it. We have to wrap things up right about now because the shop is closing, but tomorrow we're gonna finish up a sort of finished cut for it. And then we're gonna flip it over and manufacture the top of it. But yeah, no, after tomorrow, that part should be done. So we're pretty excited. It is a week and a day before everything needs to be done, and today, honestly, not the greatest day. It did not start the way I wanted it to. I wanted to get a lot of things done, but it is most definitely a good day because we did it. We freaking did it. This is the board. It's like ridiculously long, ridiculously wide, but it's a freaking hoverboard. It exists. Oh, that's a splinter for sure. But anyway, like it's still very rough. There's still a bunch of rough edges and some splinters that I now need to get out of my hand, out of this thing, but it's done. And it's the right shape and everything, and it's gonna fit. But I am so beyond stoked that this thing is finally done. Now I can move on to actually attaching it to the board. So although the board is done, there's still a lot to do, and to be completely honest, I am so exhausted. I've been working on this project for almost 2 months now, and things are getting a lot harder to manage and get done within the next week. So I think part of my problem with not getting so much done within the past few days lies in how connected I am to the universe. I've never actually seen the movies all the way through. I've only seen bits and parts here and there. So I think it's time to change that and really get back into that Back to the Future spirit. Alright, 1 down, 2 left to go. Alright, let's pop in Back to the Future 2. The one where the board's from, so I'm really excited for this one. Alright, we are 2 movies down, 1 left to go. I think I'm really getting in the Back to the Future spirit. Let's get going for the next one. All 3 movies down, and I think I'm really in the Back to the Future spirit now. But something still feels a bit off. Before we continue, there's a little bit of exposition that Recording Hunter left out of this part of the video. Back when I started this project, weeks before I even started filming, I decided in order to motivate myself to finish the project, I couldn't shave or get a haircut until it was done. Hence why I've looked like a woolly mammoth this whole video. Alright, well we're halfway done. Now just step 2. Alrighty, that's that. Seems like we are 1 step closer. Now that we've got the look together, I think it's time we start putting the finishing touches on the board and get everything moving. Let's go. Alrighty, so we are in my little demon cave area, but we've got the board set up and we're ready to get painting, so let's go. This moment realizes I have no clue what I'm doing. Also, this looks incredibly sketchy. I am in some like back alley sort of area with spray paint. That may look like I'm up to no good, but this is for the project. Ah! Oh, that's pink. Oh god, this isn't gonna look bad. Okay. Wonder if I can like clean it up with like a leaf. That's pink. Oh. Oh, guess who made it worse? I did. I'm gonna go get a rag. That might help. This one's already going on much better now that I kind of almost maybe knew what I'm doing. A little bit. We'll see how it looks. But for now, let's go work on that sticker. So I apologize for the horrible audio quality. Oh, someone stopped cutting. So this should be a bit better. But it's attached and it's on there. And I'm so excited. And I'm about to step on it. Oh my gosh. This freaking thing works. Oh my word. I'm so excited. Oh my god, it works.
Here's the, he's been working on this for months. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Dude, let's go. Let's go.
Sorry, you just got walked in on something.
That looks fancy.
Okay. The first ride outside. Here we go. I got the girl on the bike. This is so sick. This is so sick. All right, that's it. Go for it. Oh my god.
So it's about 2 months later after coming up with the idea for this and starting to fully pursue it, and it's here. I've really enjoyed going around Purdue and seeing people and people getting excited about the boards. So what we're dealing with under the hood is, I know I haven't really gotten to show it off too much, but we've got the acrylic panels, we got our churro, the steel brackets, attached to the 2x4, attached to the board. It's pretty simple. There's just enough room in between these guys to actually make the thing turn. The skirts are a little bit low. It makes it look real nice, but it's kind of tough to turn. So I think at some point I'm going to shorten those up a little bit. This project took me farther and wider than I ever could have imagined and introduced me to some seriously amazing people. So huge shout out to Arn Flatten, Jolene Lark, Dan Bollock, the wonderful people at the Bechtel Innovation and Design Center, And I want to give a big thank you to everyone who's supported me throughout this project, be that friends, family, teachers, past teachers. It's really been a phenomenal journey. That being said, I also want to thank you so much for coming with me on this journey. I probably wouldn't have done it to this extent if I knew I wasn't going to be able to share it with all of you guys. So if you have any suggestions for how to improve the project, any comments about what I've done wrong, or just any ideas for what I should make in the future, because I'm really enjoying making these projects and I'm hoping to make it a more regular occurrence. So I hope to keep putting out this sort of project-based content for you guys all to enjoy, because I'm really having a good time with it. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the future.